I've had a lot of people commenting that they really miss my waiver wire videos, and I appreciate that. I do an early pickups video on Sunday, but that's right after the 1 p.m. game, so it's not a full list. It's not that original top 10 list. And I've wanted to do it and kind of make one of my own, but meet some challenges because I'm not a video editor. I was never the person editing the videos, just making the content. So it's kind of a little bit difficult for me, but you know what? I decided I'm just going to get it out regardless. We're just going to do a top 10 video, and it may not be highly edited, but it will be content. So here we go. Starting off at number 10, Tai Chandler is on a bye, so he is the lowest priority on this list. By the time the Vikings play again, Aaron Jones could be healthy. However, if Aaron Jones is at risk of a multi-week absence, and considering that they're on a bye, we may not really know his true status before waiver claims hit. That means that Chandler may not be a priority for everyone else, allowing you to grab him on the cheap here. While his production wasn't really fantastic last week, it also wasn't really a good matchup here. The Vikings offense will get back on track, and if Chandler is the RB1, he will have immediate flex value. Tyler Conlin got off to a really slow start, but he's really settling into a reliable volume role at tight end. The position is a complete nightmare this year, and a tight end that you know will get a certain level of looks is a luxury at this point. Conlin has averaged nearly 8 targets per game over the past 3 weeks, making him a potential tight end 1 every single week. Now, all of that could go sideways, of course, if Davante Adams comes to town, but still make a claim for Conlin because the struggle is real at tight end. If you're looking for a starting quarterback to stream in week 6, don't overlook Daniel Jones. I know, Daniel Jones. But he has been fairly competent despite the rough start to the preseason. Aside from a few tough matchups like against Minnesota, he has been very efficient and productive both through the air and on the ground. He has utilized Malik Neighbors very well, and Wan'Dale Robinson has really settled into a nice role here. The Giants' run game hasn't been terrible. They're coming off of a win. Overall, things have been going decently well. Now, Jones does have a great matchup here against Cincinnati defense that has been struggling. He likely gets Malik Neighbors back. You could do a lot worse here. The way Jalen Tolbert has stepped up, given these new opportunities with Brandon Cooks out, is very impressive. Tolbert caught 7 of his 10 targets for 87 yards and a critical touchdown. It is worth noting that it's not unusual for the second look to be the better option against Pittsburgh. So outperforming CeeDee Lamb here as the wide receiver 2 in this matchup isn't particularly unusual. Do not expect this level of performance from him on a weekly basis, but knowing that he has the capabilities and the opportunity makes Tolbert a solid waiver wire add. A couple of weeks ago, the Bears announced that Roshan Johnson would be taking on a larger role within the offense. It did not quite pan out exactly as we expected it, but I think we now have a clear picture of what the backfield split in Chicago looks like. They have clearly iced out Khalil Herbert. DeAndre Swift is still the RB1, and they prefer Johnson in short yardage and goal line situations. Volume won't really be Johnson's friend here, but the Bears' offense continues to develop, and especially as they get improvement from Caleb Williams, the flow of the offense will provide more goal line opportunities. With upcoming favorable matchups, Johnson is a guy that you want on your bench, and he could be a bye-week fill-in for you. I was shocked to see that Josh Downs is under 50% rostered in Yahoo leagues. Maybe that's the skepticism of what this offense looks like with Anthony Richardson. And while that is understandable, it is so clear that Josh Downs is an integral part of this Colts offense. Downs caught 9 of his 12 targets for 69 yards. Michael Pittman is still the wide receiver 1 here, and Anthony Richardson does still need to improve, but bank on Downs for the talent and grab him off waivers. I know fantasy managers are disappointed with the Jets offense, particularly the run game, and the Jets could be spiraling here through the chaos. But we have to remember that matchups matter, and the Jets have faced tough wins early on. Unfortunately, it doesn't get much better for them moving forward, but for the running backs, this week presents a particularly good matchup where the Jets may lean on their run game rather than attacking Buffalo through the air. When the Jets focus on the ground game, Braylon Allen does see enough volume in order to have flex value in deeper leagues. And while rostering Allen now for a bye-week fill-in is okay, this isn't just about this week. It is more of a long-run thing with him. He could step into a league-winning role if Breece Hall were to get injured. Regardless of the current struggles, Allen is someone that you want on your bench. Tyrone Tracy Jr. looked fantastic in Week 5 as the lead back, and if Devin Singletary is out again, I would expect a huge performance for him against Cincinnati. We've already discussed the struggles of Cincinnati's defense, and I believe that anyone can take advantage of them on the ground. Tracy averaged over 7 yards per carry last week, and if he starts again this week, there is overall RB1 upside here. Even if Singletary returns, Tracy is someone that you want to roster. When a running back performs like this, compared to a veteran on a team that doesn't really have significant investment in him and is looking more towards the future, we could start to see meaningful value for Tracy, even when Singletary is active. I am shocked that Darnell Mooney is under 50% rostered in Yahoo leagues. How is he not on your fantasy bench right now? Maybe I'm biased as a longtime Mooney supporter, but look at his recent performances. Since week 2, Mooney has had at least 6 targets in every single game and 3 total touchdowns. He is thriving alongside Drake London, and I love his role in this offense. Week 1 can be ignored because Cousins was just shaking off the rust there, but since then, Mooney has been a reliable option. If he is on your waiver wire, what are you waiting for? Travis Etienne has been dealing with a shoulder injury, so it's possible that that has something to do with Tank Bigsby's sudden surge, but we cannot ignore this production, especially when the Jags have made it very clear they're actively trying to reduce volume on Etienne. Bigsby had 13 carries for 101 yards, and this was not the first time that he's had a strong performance. When it comes to yardage, Bigsby has outrushed Etienne 3 out of 5 games this season. This is real, guys. Bigsby isn't just the backup anymore. If he's on waivers, snatch him up.